Up next, we'll have Angela Durant to introduce today's featured speaker.
Thank you, President. I am honored to introduce Brad Russell and Vinny Beretta this afternoon for a presentation on strengthening the communities. And those of you who know Brad know who he is as a person. I wanted to share a little bit about what I know of him as a person before I read his bio. But he's amazing. His energy is so amazing and just contagious. His love for things like chocolate and adventure, his wife, the community. I met Brad about 10 years ago, and since then, I've been just amazed by the work he does in our community to help with the health and wellness of our community and the kiddos. So I'm going to read his bio. Brad Russell has been the executive director of Rogue Valley Family YMCA in Medford, Oregon since 2006. He has a business administration degree from the University of Maine and a master's degree in nonprofit management from Springfield College in Massachusetts. He began his YMCA career in 1990 in Rochester, New York, then served in San Diego, California. He spent a year at YMCA in Taiwan, where he met his wife, Stella, then led a YMCA in Monterey, California. Brad volunteers for the Nonprofit Association of Oregon and serves on the board of La Clinica Health Center. As an avid traveler, he has visited nonprofits in more than 35 countries, speaks Mandarin, Chinese, and a bit of Spanish. In his free time, he enjoys sea kayaking and time outdoors with his wife and 2 rescued dogs. And for just one moment, Brad, I wanted to also, I also wanted to introduce your guest speaker, Vinny Beretta. And today was the first time I got to meet him. And one thing I know about him already is he's extremely funny, which is what I like. And a fascinating story. He was asked at the table how he started his career with the YMCA. And it was when he was younger because he wanted to learn how to interact with children so that someday he could be a good dad. And I was just, yeah, heartfelt comments and conversations. So thank you for being here, Vinny, and letting us get to know you. He began his YMCA career in 2012 as a summer camp counselor at the YMCA here in Medford. He spent the following years working in a variety of programs: preschool teacher's aide, after school site leader, camp supervisor, sports coordinator, and a lifeguard. In 2022, Vinny became the camp and sports director at the YMCA here in Medford. In his free time, he enjoys sports, games with friends, and spending time with his wife and their 2 sons. So with that, I will hand it over to Brad Russell.
He is too kind. Thank you. Well, good afternoon. I'm just not sure why Pat Barry from your club asked me to speak today, right? Because, I mean, this is a week with a major shift in national political leadership. But then I figured it out. Trump signed in an executive order making the YMCA song our new national anthem. I'm not sure why he likes our song so much, but boy, the Y's been getting some attention. So, but seriously, the National Council of Nonprofits informs us on recent executive orders and what that means for the nonprofit sector. Lots of topics: DEI, immigration, government contracting, the census, voting, and nonprofit nonpartisanship. So I just want to repeat that: nonprofit nonpartisanship, right? That has been really this trademark for the nonprofit sector for so many years, right? Like, we are not red, we're not blue, we're purple. You need to buy like a purple shirt. I hope it stays that way, right? And if I use the ducks and beavers analogy, it's like we're a platypus. Benny, you said you're a platypus. Like, why did you? Not many people say. Yeah. What? Because you really don't have a ducks or a, is that okay? That's why we're in nonprofit. Is that okay? Yeah. So, anyways, well, weeks ago, Pat wanted me to come and talk about strengthening communities, which I guess is really related to what's happening, right? Strengthening communities is also the mission of the YMCA. But really, before I start, I just want to point out that, like, our previous board president, Beth Heckert, amazing. And I Just so love you, Beth. And we navigated the Y through the pandemic, and man, it was like so meaningful. And quick story about Beth. I was trying to think of like a really meaningful way to thank her for her board service. And so we did this little song and dance. And then I was like, Beth, you're the YMCA goat. And she's like, you calling me an old goat? I'm like, no. And then I actually had a real goat come into the board meeting, a real one. And then we had to explain, no, greatest of all time. Beth is really the greatest of all time. Yeah. Okay, so here's the short answer to strengthening communities, right? It's good, responsible adults who really care. And they care about all sectors of the community, and they care about the next generation. They care about kids. That's it. That's the quick answer. So if you just need to leave, out you go, no problem. You need to look at your phone, whatever you want to do, that's the answer. And that's it, right? Now, Vinny is going to come up and chat a little bit more about that. But for those of you that aren't running out, look at that. People stayed around. I can't believe it. I thought, you like give them the chance, out they go. They didn't go. Okay, so here's your exercise. Like if you are just like bored with me in the presentation, here's your exercise. Who has heard of the 6-word life story? You ever heard of this? The 6-word life story? So you just think of 6 words that encapsulates your life. Mine is bike, hike, paddle, love my wife. Right? So you pick these 6 words and then you just share it with others. It's a thing. Like you can Google it. It's online, the 6-word life story. So just real quick about mine, bike, hike, paddle, love my wife. So start with love my wife, Stella or Ming Jing. She's from Taiwan. She's there right now. And I met her, actually I get to go there on Friday and meet her. I fly over there for a couple of weeks. And I met her there 30 years ago when I was teaching conversational English at a YMCA. And so when it comes to the bike, hike, paddle part, I biked 3,500 miles or 3,300 miles from Maine to California in my 20s. And then in my 30s and 40s, I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail from Mexico to Canada. And I just finished paddling my kayak 1,200 miles in sections over 6 years along the Inside Passage from Olympia, Washington to Juneau, Alaska. So did 300 miles this past summer. And I call that my 7,000-mile lifelong triathlon. And Darren Ravasapor, who also isn't here, like Pat invited me, he's not here. Darren said, like, you got to talk about your triathlon. I'm like, yeah, that's not what Pat wanted me to talk about. So they're both not here. So anyways, I can just talk crap about them. I do have a longer talk about my triathlon that actually has pictures. And so I would love if you invite me back for that at some point in the future, if you wanted to. So anyways, back to the YMCA. So I'm really grateful to be the YMCA director. I was telling Angela that like, I got a business degree and then my mom was like, what are you going to do with your life? I was like, I don't know. And she's like, well, why don't you go volunteer at the YMCA until you figure it out? I haven't figured it out. It's been 30 years. And so I'm still here. But I've been the executive director of our Y here for 18 years now. And the thing is it's real meaningful work. I mean, all of our jobs have crap we don't want to do, and I do too. But I mean, for most of it, it's like, it is really good, meaningful work. And I really love it. And so I love that the YMCA is in 120 countries around the world. Not as much as Rotary, over 200 countries for Rotary. It's amazing. In America, there's 2,700 YMCAs serving 10,000 communities. And locally, there's YMCA in Wairika, Ashland, Klamath Falls, Grants Pass, Roseburg, up and down the I-5, wherever there's people, there's YMCAs. And there's one YMCA near City Hall in downtown doing great work. So quick brag about some of the stuff at the YMCA over the past 10 years. Our Y involves about 20,000 people each year, and that's with help from about 150 staff and 300 volunteers with 100 different programs, lots of different programs. And Vinny's going to mention a couple of those. We help on average 4,000 different kids and teens and adults each year with approximately $500,000 in financial assistance scholarships. And many of you donate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We foster lots of partnerships, right? And that helps us with just more funding, more space, and so forth. Primarily, it's the school districts, the housing authority, Jackson Care Connect, the Children's Museum is a big partner. There's lots. And an example, Jackson Care Connect last year awarded us $450,000 so we can assist any healthcare worker who needs childcare regardless of income. So most of the time we're helping folks that are low income, but yeah, so they can secure childcare. That was really to help kind of rebuild that healthcare workforce. That's one example. We've invested money into a lot of remodeling and facility improvements. There's a tour card on your table. So if you haven't seen the Y lately, love to show you around and share a little bit more. We just opened a new childcare center that's near North Medford High School. It was the old Living Waters Church right next to a new housing authority complex that's recently been built there. And we are just now starting to develop an outdoor school in Trail. So, but it is really the stories of impact that matter, right? You know, sometimes it's like, okay, we talk about number of people, the amount of money raised and so forth, but it's really about impact, right? So, you know, 1 out of 3 Americans says that they've been a part of the Y at some point, and you know, YMCA touches most everybody in some way. So, my guess is many of you have been a part of the Y at some point. So, thanks. You know, the Y invented basketball. It was a guy like Vinny that invented basketball. James Naismith. He was a YMCA program director like Vinny, and he just had to he put a peach basket on the wall, and he said, "Hey kids, you need to put this weird leather ball like into that basket." And that's how it started. And basketball is now the second most popular sport on the planet behind soccer. It's pretty amazing. And there's a lot of other things. Volleyball, because basketball was too strenuous. So Y invented volleyball, racquetball, and lots of other things. So I'll move ahead. It's just important to note that we are more than that Village People song. You know, I mean, so but nowadays, and what we do to try to strengthen communities is 3 things: youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. So I'm going to start with social responsibility. And this just means volunteerism, philanthropy, community service, caring about your neighbor, believing in a cause. And that is all of you right here, right? Like you all do this. So thank you, right? Like that you illustrate social responsibility, and we want others to do that. We want to teach others to do that. So, and of course, I want you to believe in the YMCA, and I want you to donate to the YMCA. But the reality is, as long as you're giving time and you're giving of your treasure to whatever cause you believe in, then that helps our community. It helps our country. It just makes us be stronger. So that's how we strengthen communities. Moving on to healthy living. Our biggest partners are Asante, Jackson Care Connect. There's a number of others. And studies show that like a third of us are healthy, a third of us are overweight, a third of us are obese, which causes all sorts of problems, right? Diabetes and joint pain and depression and so forth. So when it comes to healthy living, how do you really do that, right? How do you really do it? We all know the formula. I mean, most of us ignore it, right? Proper nutrition plus regular exercise. That's it. That's like good health. But I think the key is adding in friendship, right? Like you have to add in friendship. So like I work out with my buddy Chris, and if I didn't work out with Chris, like I just won't work. I mean, I just shouldn't say that because I'm the Y director. I should be like worried. But I really like I really think that that's the key. Is like you got to add friendship in. So I encourage you to invite someone to participate. If you're taking a walk, invite someone to join you. Enough of me, because I really want to highlight Vinny, and he's never been to a Rotary club before. This is his first time. So let's welcome Vinny up.
Hello, thank you. Whoa, I'm not that tall. Right. Thank you for having me here. First, I just wanted to say before I have my speech here that Brad actually employs Chris, and I think he's kind of feels obligated to work out with him. So, I'm Vinny Beretta. My 6-word life story that Brad was talking about is games, laughs, family, and appreciate the now. I games, but not video games. I think that's important. I struggle with the video games, but I love board games, card games with friends. Laughing, I love to laugh and make others laugh. Sometimes too much, so sometimes Brad has to put me in check a little bit. But I love laughing. I love making others laugh. Family. I love my family. I love my wife and my two boys. They're they're smart, they're healthy, they're beautiful boys that I'm just so grateful for and appreciate the now is kind of appreciating what I have right now. The family I just talked about, the career, that I've chosen or they chose me. But I'm just so grateful for what I have right now. So kind of appreciating the now. Let's see here. At the Y, I'm the camp and sports director. But I really do all the other crap that Brad assigns me to. So it's on my job description. When I signed it, I knew too. At our YMCA, we serve thousands of kids every year in preschool, childcare, after school, day camp, overnight camps, aquatics, and youth sports. We have a child watch program in a youth center. We have a climbing gym. We have a challenge course that hangs from our ceiling in our basketball court. You can't miss it. And we have so many other things. Instead of bragging about all the kids and the wonderful programs that we offer, I want to talk about youth development, real meaningful youth development. We often say we want to teach kids the value of caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility, but how do we really do that? To me, I care, I listen, I teach, I learn about them. I'm a proud dad of those two boys and soon to be 3. Thank you. A girl too to mix it up, just a nice curveball. And I do exactly those things with my own kids. The Search institutes 40 developmental assets, which is a handout at your guys' table. Looks like this. Says that the key is adults who model responsible behavior. Who has heard of the 40 developmental assets? Anybody in here? And Brad too. In short, it is 20 external assets and 20 internal assets that we all need to give kids, what we need to give kids so they can grow into healthy and responsible adults. I definitely encourage you to take that handout and look it over and check it out for yourself. It's very informative. The more assets they get, the more successful adults they will become. It is proven. There is a handout. I already said that part. Take a look at it. How many did you guys get of those as a kid? I think is something you can ask yourself when you're reading it. You probably got many of them because you are here strengthening your community right now. A guest pass is also on that table, as Brad said. So if you haven't seen the Y recently, you should definitely come by and check it out. When I do youth development programs like camp and youth sports, the parents are signing up for more than just an activity. Many of them are seeking positive, caring adults, or sometimes they're just looking to get a break from their kid. So volunteerism is the most pressing issue for our YMCA and for many other organizations. At the YMCA, we have kids on a variety of waiting lists to play sports or go to camp. Because I can't get enough people to just volunteer 3 hours a week for 10 weeks. So I ask people why they can't help. I'm too busy. I've heard this so many times. It makes me worried for so many people. And go ahead and raise your hand if you also feel too busy to volunteer. Oh, hot dog. We got a room of volunteers, Brad. If you didn't raise your hand, I definitely encourage you to help us out because we would love it. To wrap up, youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility is how we strengthen our communities. And it takes all of us. So if you weren't listening, you could share your 6 life story if you'd like. Anybody want to share a 6-word life story? Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you have any questions or interested in my Y story and how I got to the Y, I'd be happy to to let you hear about that wonderful story if you have about an hour to spare. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Brad and Vinny from the YMCA. Do we have any questions for them? Yes. Comment?
So kind. And can I just tell the Patsy story when I moved into town? She's like, I need to meet with you. And then it was like 3 days on the job. And she's like, all right, I want to know what's good. I want to know what's bad. I'm like, I just started. Who are you? And then it's like, oh, it's okay, got it. Can you just give me a few weeks? I'll be back. And we've had a great relationship ever since. Thank you. Really.
Anybody else? Well, Brad and Vinny, thank you so much. Our club is a partner with the Smart Reading Program. So as a thank you for being today's speakers, we have a little thank you gift. It's a book that we will donate to the Smart Reading Program. Today's book is Drawn Together. Yes. And inside there's a little sticker where you can sign. So it'll have your names when the kids are reading. So right there. So thank you so much, Brad and Vinny from the YMCA.